Officer, Department of ISE. This video is to give brief introduction about File Structures Laboratory. Fourth program deals with how to search a record using relative record number. RRN is a number which is given to a record to the index. So RRN starts from 0.
Let us take a look at the fourth program. Fourth program is to read and write student records, each of variable length, and we are reading this record using RRN. RRN stands for relative record number. Now take an example first. Let us say we have two records in our file. We have given some random names. Each record is given a RRN number, that is the first record will be of RRN 0, second will be of RRN 1, third will be of RRN 2 and so on. When we are accessing the records, we are going to access the records using RRN numbers instead of names or keys. Let us look at our program. Since we are taking student records, we are going to create a class for that student. We are going to take three fields into consideration: name, USN and branch. We have four functions in that class: pack, unpack, display and search by RRN. Pack function is to read the details, that is student details, and form it into a record and store it to a file. Unpack is to display the records from the file to the screen. That is, since you have made it into a record, unpack will separate them into fields. Display function displays all the records in the file, whereas search by RRN searches a particular record based on a RRN number. For this, we will be using one file. So we will be using one file pointer related to that, which is declared using fstream class. Initially, the number of records is initialized to 0. Name of our file, I am going to store it in fname. Since the records are of variable length, we are going to keep the starting address of each record in your index. So we are using an array index here. Let us go to our main function. In our main function, we are declaring a student object. We are going to enter the file name, which is stored as fname. So we can give any file name, in.txt or anything with an extension .txt. Now we are just opening the file in out mode and truncate mode. Open, as you know, creates a connection between your program and your file. We are opening it in write mode and also truncate mode. In case there was a previous copy of the program or any other contents, that will be truncated or deleted using iOS trunc, which is given here. Next, to save the changes, you are closing the file once. Now there are different choices we have: insert, display and search by RRN. Coming to the first option, it is your insert function, which is handled by your first case. If I choose the option 1, first thing is we are incrementing the count, because as you insert one record, the count will be incremented to 1. Now we are again opening the file in out mode and also ATE. ATE stands appending to the end of your file. This is because we want to just add the contents to the file and do not want to replace the previous contents. Next, you are calling your pack function. Now coming to your pack function, pack is basically to read the data from the user. Here it says enter the pack function, enter the student USN name and branch. Whatever contents are entered, you are going to form it into a record using your string copy and concatenation functions. For this purpose, we are using a temporary buffer. In the buffer, you are going to copy the USN. To separate the fields, we are using a delimiter, which is a pipe symbol. So USN followed by a pipe symbol, followed by a name, followed by another pipe symbol, followed by branch. Now before we write it to your file, we are going to find out what is the current position of the pointer. Tell G will tell you what is the current position of the pointer. Let us assume if the file was empty, it will be at the starting position, that is position 0. Now position 0 is stored in your index. After that, you are going to store the contents of your buffer to the file. That is your pack function. Now coming to your second choice, if I choose case 2, case 2 is for display function. Display will just display the contents of your file. So if you look at the display function opens the file or the link in read mode. Later we are going to retrieve one record at a time and store it into the buffer, and then since your record contains all the fields, we need to separate the fields. For that we are going to call your unpack function. You can see your unpack function here. Unpack function will separate the fields using string token. So buffer contains one complete record. We know that we have separated the fields using a delimiter, right? That's what we did during your pack function. When you are unpacking, we are going to separate the fields using your delimiter again. So we are going to read the contents of your buffer until you reach a delimiter, and the contents are displayed onto the screen. So first one was the field USN, so that will be displayed onto the screen. Later we are going to continue and we are going to get the next field until the next delimiter, and we are again going to display it onto the screen. Same way we are going to display the branch also. Now coming for the third case, that is your search by RRN. In this case, first we are going to enter the RRN which you want to search. So since you are doing only a display operation here, you are going to open it in the read mode again. Now you are going to check if the RRN is more than the number of records available. Now let us say if I have only 2 records and if I give the RRN as 4, so we have only RRNs of 0 and 1. 4 is not present, so it is going to display saying that RRN with the for the record is not found. Otherwise, using the index, we are going to jump to the particular line of the program. Now if I say 0th record, then it will go to from the beginning of the file, it is going to go to the particular index of your record. Once you jump to that particular line, you are going to read that particular line, store it into the buffer and unpack the contents of the buffer to display it onto the screen. So this is your 4th program.
Let us take a look at the output for your 4th program. So this is your 4th program, asking for your file name. Let me call it pg4.txt. So you have four operations: insert, display, search and exit. Let us give display operation. So there are no file contents. Let us insert. I am inserting 2 records. Now let us display the contents onto the screen. So there are 2 records which are displayed onto the screen. Now we are going to do a search operation. So search is based on RRN number. So if I give RRN as 3, we have only 2 records, so RRN 0 and RRN 1. So RRN with record number 3 is not found. Let us do a search with RRN 0 or 1. So I have taken 1, so it is displaying the record corresponding to the RRN 1. So this is the output for your 4th program. So let us check your text file. So there are 2 records, so 1JB01 and 1JB02. There is no modification operation in this. So this is the output for your 4th program.